So, as product managers, you have these terms associated with visioning, missioning, product strategy, roadmap, backlog. In reality, all of them are different. Hello, welcome. Today I'm going to talk about something which I've been asked a lot of times. So, as product managers, you have these terms associated with visioning, missioning, product strategy, roadmap, backlog, and a lot of these jargons which people don't understand, and I think these are just fancy terms. People sometimes get confused if they mean the same thing, and we're just using different terms to explain the same concept. In reality, all of them are different. So, what I'll do is I'll try and explain this concept using a very simple and relatable example from your own life. So, I'll take you back to when you were growing up. You were in your 7th, 8th, 9th standard, and when somebody will ask you that, what do you want to do? What do you want to become? Many times we do not have a very clear answer, but at least the vision is clear. Most of us. So vision is, as the term suggests, right? Visioning, looking. So when you close your eyes, what is it that you see yourself doing when you are like 40, 45, 50 years old? Not exactly the occupation, but what are you doing? How do you see yourself? Do you see yourself helping people, and it can be multiple ways, like through medical. Do you see yourself in a profession which is more corporate-ish? You're going to an office, working, or do you see yourself doing a business, running a shop as an entrepreneur? Do you see yourself as an artist? So at least that clarity you have. That is what is vision. That what is it that you see yourself doing in a steady state, or when steady state in our childhood, when we were child, will be like when you are 35, 40, 50. Similarly, for an organization or a product, the vision is essentially what they see themselves doing, or they see themselves making a change in the world, or they see themselves making a change in the customer's life. That is what is vision. So Google will be to assimilate all of world's information into a single point and make it accessible for people to use it at the click of a button. Or Amazon will be, we just want to become the most customer-centric organization in the world. That is the vision. Or for Uber, to provide transportation as easily as flowing or running water. So that's the vision. It does not talk about, like Uber did not talk about cars or rides or Uber Eats or food or anything. They just talk about transportation. Google just talks about information to be available to everybody. Amazon just talks about customer experience or customer service. They don't talk about an online platform or Amazon Web Services or Amazon Prime or anything like that. But the vision is very clear to the founder. That is what you want to do. So going back to the example, where do you see yourself? That is your vision. And then comes the mission. So once, suppose you have clarified that, suppose, and I'll take an example from a product management lens, which will become more clearer to you, that you want to see yourself more in a corporate world, or you want to see yourself as an entrepreneur who is a very successful entrepreneur who is running an organization. And you can run an organization both as an entrepreneur as well as working for the organization, right, as a salaried professional. So you see yourself doing that. Then what is the mission? So that becomes like a mission, right? That I want to become the CEO of an organization, or I want to become the head of product for an organization. I want to become the head of engineering for an organization, or actually I want to do chartered accountancy, and I want to go through that route, or I want to enter into from the marketing route. So those all become your mission. That what is the route, what is the path which you're going to take to become what you want to do. So you are adding more and more meat to your vision. You become your thought process or your clarity is coming in, that this is the mission which I want to achieve. So when you taking a similar example for Amazon, when they talk about, so the vision is of course to be the most customer centric organization, but when they'll talk about mission, they will actually talk about online, they will talk about content. So in their mission, they will say that if anybody wants to buy anything under the sun, then we will provide that online very easily. So that becomes their mission statement. So that you're getting more clarity about what mission, what vision do you see, and how are you trying to reach to the vision. So it's like a path to the vision. Then comes strategy. Strategy, interestingly, people think strategy is a plan or a set of things you're trying to do. If I were to say strategy in a single word, it will be choice. So you have multiple ways in which the same can be accomplished, right? But what is that choice of customer segment? What is the choice of the product? How do you want to deliver it? And a very good example, very good thought, in fact, which I read somewhere, was that how do you test if something is a good strategy or not? And that can be tested by inversing the strategy. So you say, our strategy is to actually reach to the millennials. That is one strategy. But can the inverse or an opposite can also be a strategy? So you say, we don't want to reach to the millennials, we are actually working for an elderly population, or we want to work for the kids. All of these are a strategy. But if you say, we want to become actually become very, very customer centric, that is a strategy. Now, what is the inverse of that? That you don't want to become customer centric? No, that is not a strategy, because no company can take that position and say that is our strategy. Or you want to say you want to become profitable. Is that a strategy? No, because no other company can take an inverse strategy saying we don't want to become profitable, unless of course you are running an NGO or a non-for-profit organization. So a strategy is a set of choices which you make to achieve that. And strategy also is unlike vision, which remains constant for maybe throughout the course of the organization or a human being's life. Strategy changes, and it requires constant input. You keep tracking the competition, you're looking at what is happening, and you keep tweaking your strategy. And strategy, of course, has multi-facets, like your marketing strategy, your product strategy, your people strategy, your corporate strategy, multiple facets. I won't go into details, maybe that's for another video. And then comes two important terms which are very actionable, which is roadmap and backlog, right? Because we started from vision, moved to mission, then a strategy, and then we move to a roadmap. Roadmap is very actionable. Roadmap is typically it is for, say, a quarter or 2 quarters. So for in the same example of the student, your roadmap will be, suppose if you are in class 10th or class 12th, your roadmap will be that I have to, say, join a coaching institute for the next 2-3 months, 4 months, 6 months. These are the tests I want to take. Or suppose and this changes from at different stages, right? So if suppose you're already working and now you want to get into product management, you will say, in the next 6 months I will maybe take up a course or speak to my manager or apply for a different organization to get to a product management kind of a career. So that's the roadmap. That from a product perspective, the roadmap will be, what are the high level items which you want to achieve from a product perspective. These are mostly thematized. So you say you want to work on personalization, you want to work on monetization, you want to work on repeat user, or you want to say work on technology, and you move all the tech debts which we have accrued so far. That can be one of the product roadmap items. And then you break it down further to the backlog. Backlog is actually actionable. From backlog you actually create the sprint backlog, right? And you say these are the final user stories or features which I want to get developed in the particular sprint. So your backlog can be of multiple, it can pan into multiple sprints, but from the backlog you actually take out items for the current sprint, and you develop it further. So if suppose you were working on monetization or any other item, or from that you will say From a monetization perspective, we want to focus on cross-sell, and cross-sell, this is the particular feature which we want to introduce, and that becomes part of the backlog. And of course, this list actually goes on from to epics and user stories, but that is becoming too granular. I won't go into that. But the intent of this video was to actually make you understand the difference between vision, which is as I said, when you close your eyes, what do you think you're going to become as an organization? What is it that you want to become, or change the world, or change the customer behavior for? Mission is slightly more tactical, adding more meat to it. What exactly do you want to do? Strategy is choosing from a set of choices. What choice do you want to make? Roadmap becomes very, very maybe a quarter, 2-quarter kind of activities, thematized, and then move to a backlog, which is nothing but a set of prioritized user stories which you want to take up in the next and the next sprint. So hope with that example you're now more clearer about mission, vision, roadmap, strategy and all, and will be in a better situation when anybody asks you, and also when you get to apply these concepts as you work as a product manager. Thank you so much for watching.